This is a Fox News alert. A Democratic staffer on Capitol Hill has been arrested for allegedly publishing the private information of U.S. senators. During the Brett Kavanaugh hearing last week, private phone numbers and home addresses of Republican senators were posted online. It was apparently an effort to promote harassment, intimidation, and who knows what else against those lawmakers. Now authorities believe they have arrested the man who did it. He is called Jackson Costco. He's an intern for Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas. Costco also previously worked for Democratic Senators Barbara Boxer and Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire. He's been charged with burglary, witness tampering, making threats, and identity theft in relation to these actions. We'll, of course, continue to follow this story. Well, Senator Lindsey Graham, as you know, has emerged really out of nowhere as one of Brett Kavanaugh's most aggressive defenders. He continued that defense today at the Atlantic Festival, named after the ludicrous magazine that sponsors it, and he was booed for what he said. Watch this.
I'm the first person to say, I want to hear from Dr. Ford. I thought she was handled respectfully. I thought Kavanaugh was treated like crap. Yeah, well, boo yourself. Here's what
All right. Look, I'm going to ask you to please be respectful of this conversation so we can have the conversation.
That's right. I have nothing. I really believe that Brett Kavanaugh is not a gang rapist, a sexual predator, or a stumbling, bumbling drunk. I really believe that, and I don't care whether you believe it or not.
Lou Dobbs hosts Lou Dobbs Tonight on Fox Business. He joins us tonight. So, Lou, if you're attending the Atlantic Conference, you consider yourself like an erudite person. Oh. You know, this is not a cross-section of America. Oh, no. These are people with HBS degrees who worked at McKinsey. Like, they're way better than you and much smarter.
Absolutely.
And yet their response is boo.
By the way, and that's a very large club you just defined. The fact is that these people who were booing Lindsey Graham, they think of themselves as the literati.
Yes.
In fact, they're more gaudy than literati. And the further truth is they're ill-mannered sops, and many of them just outright ideological hacks. So I have no idea how they got the idea that this was some sort of festival, unless they're celebrating their inadequacy to chronicle our times and to enlarge our minds. It is a farce.
Do you think if Creepy Porn Lawyer had been up there on the stage,
it would have been perfect.
Eyes too close together and the whole thing, do you think they would have booed him?
I don't think they would at all. I think they couldn't have resisted a standing ovation. They could have, then the excitement in the room would have verged on the obscene and vulgar.
What's so interesting is you see a lot of revolutions, you read about them, they're almost always waged on behalf of the working class. Have you ever seen a revolution like this one waged against the working class?
You know, I haven't. I haven't even read such a revolution. And these people are not revolutionaries. They're far too orthodox. They're far too mediocre in their own imaginings. And frankly, they can't escape themselves and their base, crass, and yes, vulgar obsessions. These are people completely consumed by grievance, by identity and group, to the point that they have lost any sense of individual responsibility or individual right. They're authoritarian to the point of being not socialist, communist. They want to be Marxist, they want to be fascist, and by the way, their desires are coming true. What they are doing is ignoring truth, ignoring values, ignoring any sort of fidelity to decency, and what they have become is frankly unspeakably ugly and awful and threatening to the very republic.
How did so many unimpressive, small-minded people make so much money and get so much? Somebody needs to study this. We're unfortunately out of time. Will you write a book on that? Because I will read every word of it.
Will you let me have all of the advance on it and everything?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a market for it. I'd buy it.
I'll take up the assignment. Thanks so much.
Great to see you, Lou. Thank you.
Great to see you.